This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
If you needed any more proof at all, ever, that Republicans don't actually care about the things they claim to care about, I've got a couple of clips for you. Two independent clips of one another. One, Lou Dobbs is back, everybody, after he got fired from Fox News. Now he's groveling and whining and having a show on Lindell TV. The two titans of intellectualism have teamed up one with another, Lou Dobbs and My Pillow Guy. Ugh. But Laura Ingraham was on her show last night talking about a border deal, something that the Republicans have been yammering on about for year upon year upon year upon year upon year. They literally call it an invasion that's taking place at our southern border. An invasion. They equate what is taking place with migrants and refugee seekers, or asylum seekers, refugees. They are equating that to a literal invasion, a military invasion of the country. White supremacists and white nationalists for years have talked about the Great Replacement theory, that this is some democratic plot to change our society and culture and demographics so it votes more democratic. It is a white supremacist fever dream. So if it was so important, and if it's literally invasion, why would Laura Ingraham go on her show and say, we shouldn't make a deal because Joe Biden will take a victory lap. We can't make a deal to solve the border crisis because Joe Biden might benefit politically. If it really was what they say it is, they would want to stop it any way possible, no matter who gets the credit, right? Watch Laura Ingraham.
So this is a hot potato that McConnell has tossed to Langford and that he should toss it right back. Let McConnell negotiate it. Think of it this way. Why on earth, after the Democrats did everything in their power to flood America with millions of indigents from across the globe, would Republicans ever give Biden an opportunity to take a victory lap and then pretend that he's done anything to solve this problem? And by the way, if House Republicans do the smart thing and say no to this raw deal, Speaker shouldn't even consider it. He should say it out of hand. He's rejecting it. The Biden campaign is going to hit the airwaves with the message. You probably already made the commercials. See, the border's their fault. Bottom line, you can't.
Bottom line is the fact that you don't care. That the problem you proclaim on a nightly basis at the border isn't really the problem that you say it is. That you don't believe it to be an existential threat against the country. It's not really an invasion. These indigents. If it were, you wouldn't mind who got the credit. And secondarily, you know that Republicans, if a deal was made, would bang the drum like it was their deal that they forced and they made happen. And maybe that would be true. Everybody could share in the credit for the good deed. But it's not the problem they say it is. Your second clip is Donald Trump, who sat with Lou Dobbs, again, back at it again. Lou Dobbs on the videos on Rumble, on Steve Bannon's channel, but it was hosted, apparently, ostensibly paid for or funded by Mike Lindell. Lou Dobbs interviewing Donald Trump. And there's a segment of the interview where Donald Trump is hoping for the economy to crash in the next 12 months. Is the specific timeline he gives. A man who literally hugs and kisses the flag for on-the-nose patriotism as a display to the low-information horde of idiots who vote for him and ostensibly worship him. That guy wants the American economy to crash, so if he gets in office, he's not another Hubert Hoover, he says. Is this love of country? Is this someone who really does care and want to make America great again while rooting for the downfall of the American economy that wouldn't just be this macro thing from a 30,000 foot view? It would be something that would inextricably harm in millions of individual families. Watch Donald Trump with Lou Dobbs ramble on, hoping that the U.S. economy crashes.
We have an economy that's incredible. We have an economy that's so fragile. And the only reason it's running now is it's running off the fumes of what we did, what the Trump administration. It's just running off the fumes. And when there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months, because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. The one president, I just don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
First of all, running off the fumes of the Trump economy is a nonsense, non sequitur. It's just not based in reality. When Donald Trump left office, the American economy was not doing well because of the pandemic. Remember the supply chain problems and gas prices and inflation that ensued. All of this is because of Donald Trump's lack of leadership in the onset of the pandemic. We all were there. We witnessed it. I mean, if there's any more evidence that you need that Donald Trump is completely untethered from reality based about this particular fact, is this next clip, which is him still. Look, I got gas the other day here in Washington, D.C., in the city. It's not cheap living here. $2.85 a gallon I paid for gas. Gas is not $8, $9, $10, $15 a gallon. It's a talking point. He's beating that drum, not taking into account that he might not pump gas because he's a rich guy. He gets chauffeured around everywhere he goes, out in his private jet and shit. But gas is at not record lows, but certainly back down to normal levels, back down to low levels, because supply is high and demand is about where it is all the time. Watch Donald Trump, again, try to convince Americans that reality isn't taking place around them in the way that they're experiencing it.
And lots of things we're not respected at all. And 3 years ago, we were greatly respected. And 3 years ago, we were energy independent. And you had gasoline selling for less than $2. And now you have it at $5, $6, $7, and even $8 a gallon. And it's what's happened to our country. And truly, one of the worst things is when you have millions and millions. I know this. I've been your friend and I've been your watcher. I would watch you all the time, and I still do it whenever I can. But I know you very well. It must just drive you crazy.
I added the other stuff in there. I allowed the other stuff to remain because, just like I did in a previous video today, Donald Trump is unraveling. It is more stream of consciousness, more just nonsense, unfiltered rambling from someone, that you would see out in public with a bird on his shoulder. This is who Donald Trump is now. And slowly, I think people are going to start waking up to it. And for the Republican Party, who's put their money on Donald Trump as their guy, this is their horse in the race, it might be too late. It might be too late for them to find another candidate to run against Joe Biden, because by the time Donald Trump is completely that guy with the bird on his shoulder or somebody talking to themselves on the corner, it'll be too late. Anyway, what do you think about this? Lou Dobbs, triumphant return to the airwaves with no makeup budget. Oh, I'm a dick. I would love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, every day, all the time, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. You can also just have a conversation in the comments. We can disagree agreeably, even though it is a YouTube cesspool comment section. Although I think mine are better than most. When I guest hosted for Pacman a few weeks ago, I poked my head into the comment section here and there, and it's a nightmare over there. Mine, a little better. Anyway, if you appreciate what I do and you want to help support my work, help produce what we do right here at this desk in front of this camera, you can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can hit the super thanks button, or even better, you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. After that, if you're still not sick of me, follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore everywhere, and I will be there when you show up. It's like a party that I'm hosting. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.